What's up, guys? Welcome back to A Trucker's Life. I'm Jorge Navarro. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the channel. If you're already subscribed, welcome back, guys. And today we got two special guests, and they're both in different stages of their trucking careers. Believe it or not, all of us are truckers here. Now, first of all, we're going to introduce our youngest, as far as, well, not the youngest in age, right? But you're the youngest, the rookie, the newer driver, I guess is what I'm looking for. So we're going to start with him, and then we're going to go for a little more experience, quite a bit more experience down the road, because you got, how many years you got experience? 15. All right, so.
I'm Luck. They call me Luck the Truck.
Luck the Truck.
I'm kind of new into trucking, almost 3-year experience. Almost, not quite there, but still learning. Been learning from my friend here, Richard, and also George. Been teaching me a lot about trucking. Glad to have you guys as my friends.
Learning how to drive a 13-speed. You just learned how to drive a 13-speed not too long ago, right? You bought a 13.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. How was that? How's it been?
Horrible.
You rather so as a new driver or newer driver, do you prefer an automatic or a stick shift?
I can do both, but if I have a choice, I would do automatic.
Automatic?
Because I'm always in and out of the big city. Chicago, Atlanta, Jersey. I really prefer automatic.
Automatics.
But I can do both. I mean, don't have a choice.
What do you prefer? Stick shift all the way? You've driven an automatic before, though, right? With Henna? I mean, with Martin. Or Martin Transport, you never drove an automatic?
Nope.
I drove. That's where I got to drive my first automatic.
I drove my automatic when I was here as team driving.
Yeah. So you still do prefer the stick shift?
10 speed, 13 speed, 18 speed. I can do it.
Yeah, different perspective. Because, like me, I'm in between. Like, I don't care as long as the truck runs. It doesn't matter if it's automatic or stick shift. A lot of old school drivers think that it should be the stick shift, which he's an old school driver. He's been doing it for a lot longer, and that's how he probably learned, is on a stick shift, right? And then you probably learned on an automatic, right? Automatic, yeah. So, and see, when I started driving trucks, there was no automatics at all.
Nope.
The very first automatics that came in when I started I remember it was a Freightliner that had this automatic that you still had to push a clutch. It had a clutch, and it had kind of like a sports car that you switch the gears on the column, like paddle shifting. That's how those trucks were. You would paddle shift to go into gears, certain gears, or it would have like a little selector. You just put it in drive. But if you wanted to downshift, you could downshift with the paddle. That's what I remember. But you still had to use the clutch for first gear and reverse and all that stuff.
They took that clutch out though.
Now it's just strictly just a braking, like a regular car, basically. So what made you So first of all, I'm going to give an observation from you guys, for you guys, is that in the trucking industry, the Asian community is almost absent. Like, there's not many Asian truck drivers out there.
Not a lot. Not in our world.
Why do you guys, like, why?
I mean, there are lots of Asian truckers, but they're into, like, dry vans. Maybe very few in flatbed.
Okay.
But as far as...
But OTR is very rare. Very rare.
No, I do see them.
No,
you see more?
You see old Asian truck drivers in Thailand, Vietnam, and all that.
I'm talking about here in the U.S.
Common, but not very common. Here in the
of course, in every perspective, I mean, every country, there's going to be drivers from that country, right? But I'm talking about here in the United States. I see that it's a very, very minimal. I mean, I can speak a little bit of experience on this because, like, there's a lot of Hispanics truck drivers, but there's not a lot of Salvadorian truck drivers. Now, there are some, but not a lot. And I'll tell you the reason why. The reason why there's not a lot of Salvadorians, at least that I know of, like the community I grew up in, Huntsville, almost 70% of the Salvadorian families the dad is a truck driver. But they normally do only containers. They do things that they're going to be home every day. So we're like very, very family oriented. And we prefer to stay in jobs that we're going to be close to home almost every day, if anything. So in the Salvadorian community, I can tell you that that's the reasoning why we, go about doing it that way. But for you guys, what would be the reason? Just it's not something that that a lot of Asians are really interested in, or
Actually, I do see a lot of
You do?
Asians on the road, but
Okay.
mostly, like I said, they're doing dry vans, hauling furniture or
Mhm.
like dry goods.
Mm-hmm.
But in our world, tankers,
Yeah.
not
really.
very few. In my 3-year experience, I probably known about maybe 2,
Mhm.
3 at the most Asian that hauling tanks.
Right.
And now in cryo, I haven't seen any.
And that's what you do now, right? You're in
Yes.
cryo. So your experience has been tankers your whole driving experience?
Only
or you-
tankers.
Only tankers. You've never done dry van, refrigerator, none of that stuff?
I did, but I wouldn't call it. I only haul it in like a couple of thousand miles, so I wouldn't call it. I have experience with
Okay.
dry vans, and
So most
I
of
had
yours
the RGN
Yeah, yeah.
that they put me on. I drove about 2,000 miles, but
Gotcha.
still don't know much about it.
For the most part, it's been...
Yeah, but like all it's been tankers. Just like they say, once you pull the silver bullets, you don't want to pull nothing else. And
It's kind of true.
I stick on that. I drive everything just like a tanker.
Yeah.
Go slow.
Yeah, and it's kind of true because... and another thing is that a lot of people are scared to drive a tanker. Those that have never driven one before, that only do dry vans and stuff like that. I hear it a lot that they're scared because they're, going around a turn, that they flip over and all this other stuff. But it's like, it's relative to anything is just being careful on how you drive. Like you have to learn a new way of driving going from, I went from the van industry to the chemical industry. So learning how to drive in a different way is basically what I had to do personally. And
The same goes for me too.
yeah, because you started with what's
Dry
yours?
van.
Dry van?
Drove 2007, 2008 Sierra CT all dry van,
Yeah,
and then became a tanker, and that's when I met you.
yeah,
So we've been knowing each other for 13, 14 years, something like that.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a minute. We hauled crude oil for Martin Transport for quite some time.
Yep,
I got out of the game. Crude oil wasn't good anymore. You left, I left,
yep.
and
What made you get into trucking though? Or like, what was the deal that like I want to get into
I
trucking?
did pursue, and those of you guys know, my name is Richard. So my YouTube channel is Gemini G7. George would add the link to the bottom of the video if you want to check out my YouTube channel.
Yep, go
but,
check them out, guys. Link will be down below.
Got me driving. It's just enjoyed driving. Being alone behind the wheel. During my young age, that's what I thought it would be. And everybody told me like, what you do like nail or be a nail tech or be a hairdresser or do TI for computers or marketing, things like
Yeah.
that. Or HVAC,
Yeah,
AC.
yeah.
But it's you choose what you choose, And one thing about America is that when you choose, like right now on a daily basis, like you see all these shopping malls right here, right? So a lot of people are working to check to pay the bills, right? But but guarantee about 80 to 90% of them are not happy where they work at,
Right,
because that's they are pursuing something else.
right.
But when you find something that you actually really enjoy,
Mm-hmm.
you love that. Not really. Well, you can say love the career, but also like the career as much.
Yeah.
You don't feel like you're a slave to that. You don't feel like, oh, I gotta wake up in the morning and do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're actually happy to go to work.
You're actually happy there.
Yeah,
And you continue building that career as you drive your truck.
Yeah.
So just like teachers, lawyers, doctors, they pursue that career and then they're happy there.
Yeah.
So when they go to work, they're not very miserable. You know what I'm
Right.
saying about?
right.
So me, I decided to drive truck, and it was for me.
Cool.
I had my family and told me go do HVAC or do computer IT like my cousin does,
Yeah.
Or you can be a car mechanic, it varies, So
Right.
I choose it, and I see it fits my build, and you make good decent money, and I went for it, and then
Yeah.
here I am today.
And what ties you two together? So you guys, so
I know this was
you have so you're a Vietnamese background, right?
Vietnamese,
And you are
Chinese.
Thai background.
or
And
Thai, half Chinese.
so how do you guys meet and become like friends, and where did you guys meet? Like y'all met in school or
High school.
High school?
Well, I moved here from Thailand. I didn't know nobody, and he happened to be the only other Asian in my school, so he's just been stalking me since then.
I was looking for another friend too, because that's another Asian in that car.
Y'all are two brothers from different mothers.
We went to Jack Yates High School in Third Ward.
Oh, y'all were in the hood.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all grew up.
That Jenkins High School is not that very far from.
Y'all grew up in the rough area.
From TSU, Texas Southern University.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how we met.
Yeah, those of you that don't know, Third Ward is the hood, one of the hoods of Houston, Texas.
Now it's
it's
better.
rough. Now it's better.
Now it's better. Now.
Yeah, but not then. Now it's getting gentrified. Now
30
it's,
years
you know,
ago
a bunch of people are buying.
Speaking of Third Ward, that area has grown.
Yeah,
it's
people
grown.
are coming in with a lot of money and buying the properties
And they're fixing it up.
and kicking out the people that are originally from there, and you know, so in part it's good and in part it's not because it's kicking out the original people, but it's bringing in more money, more jobs to the area and stuff like that. So you can look at it both ways. I'm the type of person who's going to look at it that you're kicking out the people that belong there. So that's the way I look at it. But you know, there's different ways. So you guys become friends. You end up moving back to Thailand at one point, and then during the recession. I mean, during COVID and all that, right? And then
right before COVID.
So he's the one that talked to you into like maybe getting into trucking.
Yes, he did. I was kind of stuck there. COVID just started. Everything's on a lockdown. I was trying to find a way of getting out of the country. I was working there in Thailand. Have a little clothing business. COVID came and it's very hard to stay afloat. This guy called me up out of nowhere, like, "Hey man, what you doing?" "I'm trucking. Why don't you give it a try?" And I don't know what happened. 2 weeks after that, I got my license. I came back. I flew back. Take about 2 weeks, 3 weeks to get the license, and
So you got your license through a mega carrier, like a big company, right?
No,
I
I
did
did not.
He paid out
I
his
did
own
not. I
pocket.
paid out.
Oh,
of
you
my
paid out
own
of your own
pocket.
pocket. But your first job was a mega carrier, like
Yes,
Schneider.
Schneider.
Yeah.
Schneider. And your first job was a mega carrier,
No, yeah.
CRST.
drive-in.
drive-in. Yeah. That's cool, man. It's pretty cool. Pretty
So
cool
I did
story.
drive-in, and I did tankers, Kudo with you
Yeah.
for what, 10, 11 years?
Yeah, we've been did it for a while.
Yeah, and then I got
The bottom
game
fell
and
out. And we kind of
became an
all.
owner-operator, then bought me a truck, then did reefer for 8 months. I didn't make it, so I let that go and
So now you're doing flatbed.
hauled
So
lumber
he's
and
got
steel.
his when we met we didn't have our own truck. So now he's got his own truck, flatbed, and then you just got a truck, and you're leasing your truck, but
Yes.
you just got a truck. So how do you see the industry now that you're actually paying for your truck opposed
Different.
Being
to a company driver?
It's just
It's a whole different thing.
different thing for me, yes. Because before, when you drive for a company, you know, you get layover, you can fuel wherever you want, or sometimes as long as you can get to your ETA, you know, as long as you can get there on time, you can slack off, do whatever, nobody cares. But now,
That's on you.
more responsibility, and every second of the day, you just think, where to fuel, where to stop, where I'm gonna be tomorrow, where I'm gonna be next Friday.
Mhm.
It's just a
Yeah.
lot of work, a lot of work.
Yeah, and then you got to start thinking about tires and oil changes and all that
Yes.
stuff. Now, the checks do come better than a company driver, but once you factor in some of the expenses, if you have a breakdown or something like that, then that's where it's not, it has its ups and downs. Most of the time, my experience has been up, then down. But right now, we're going through some down times. I know Richard's truck is in the shop right now getting some oil leaks because he put a new motor in his truck. If you go check out his channel, he's got everything on his channel, Gemini G7, and it shows you, like what happened to his truck and what he did to it and all that stuff. So go check that out. But to put in perspective, he had some major problems on his truck and had some major setbacks because of the truck. You're new to it, and hopefully you're going to go quite a while without having any issues,
I
and
hope
everything's going to be okay. So, all right. So, just on wrapping it up, guys, what advice would you give to a new driver, somebody that wants to get into trucking, that's never been into trucking? Is this the time to get into trucking? Should you get into trucking? Should you just wait for a while before you get into trucking, or should you buy your own truck?
I would say right now it's not a good time to get into trucking
Stay a company
because
driver for now.
everything is kind of slow right now. Maybe a year later, maybe things gets better. That's too people saying there's a shortage on trucker. I don't agree because I park at the truck stop every night and it's always packed. So it's
I think it's
not,
just
not
smoke and mirrors, really. Yeah, when it comes to shortage of truckers, I think personally. Yeah. So you say wait.
Yeah, I would say wait.
Yeah.
And those that are already in trucking, I've seen people that do like 80, 90s on 65 speed limits. I don't know, guys. The name of the game, the way I see it, is called, it's not the speed. Definitely not speed. It's called efficiency.
There you go. Good advice.
And safety. Efficiency and safety. Because we're in it to make money. You want to go home at the end of the day. You want to make money. You don't want to hurt nobody. You don't want to hurt yourself. Just stay safe.
One thing I want to notice that when you drive a truck, all it does is take one hit. A four-wheeler hits you on your truck, it'll get you.
Yeah, it'll definitely accidents, stuff like that.
Especially when you're owner-operator, you own that truck, you get one hit. It's gonna be a lot of setbacks, and you claim on the insurance, and you're gonna figure out get another truck, and then you try to get back to work. You guys out there, drive safe. I mean, if you're gonna do what you gotta do to speed or whatever. I speed. I'm not gonna lie. I got a heavy foot, but once I speed, I be able to go to the right lane and go back to my normal speed. 70, 65, or whatever. Then I'm cool. But sometimes you got that another trucker that's right next to you driving the same speed, or even though when you're driving, and then a four-wheeler starts to slow down, and we get ready to pass it, and they see you passing the fast lane, and they speed up, which that really irritates me. But
Yeah, but I mean, it's just everybody. And one thing that we never think about as drivers too is that a lot of times people don't do it on purpose. A lot of times people they're living their life. Awesome. They never even thought about the truck they just cut off or the car they just cut off. Their goal is to get to wherever they want to get. There are bad actors out there that on purpose do cut us off and on purpose do everything to us, right? But I think if you really think about it, most people are just living their life and they do it without actually thinking about it,
or on the phone,
or on the phone, distracted. Yeah, there's a lot of distractions. Now, here's one thing that I was talking to a good friend of mine not too long ago is that person just cut you off, right? Now you're upset. They're living their life. They're not worried about anything. They already, like I just explained. Now, you might have high blood pressure. You might have some type of underlying condition. Your heart might have problems that you don't know about. Now you're putting yourself at risk to having a heart attack, getting into an accident, hurting other people, only because that one person upset you. Why not just say, hey,
let it go.
Just let it go. What am I going to gain from this? Just let it go. All I'm going to do is hurt myself and others. And that person is already at home chilling, kicking back, watching TV, and I'm over here still stressing about the person that cut me off that day.
And away from home.
Yeah. So, yeah, guys, if you take anything away from this this whole interview here, is be safe out there. First of all, don't let people get to you that, like I just said, that they're going to be at home and they're not even worried about you anymore. Think about the steps you're going to take to do what you want to do in life. If trucking is what you want to do in life, I can't sit here and tell you not to do it. I can tell you what's going on in our industry from 3 truck drivers that are right here in front of you, saying that the industry is hard right now. Maybe it's not the best time to do it, but if in your heart you have that you want to do this, then you do what you think you need to do. As humans, we make mistakes, and as humans, we find out about things, and hopefully we learn about it. Now, if you come out here and drive a truck and it doesn't work for you, well, now you tried it, you learned, and you move on with life. Basically, that's pretty much it. You guys have anything else you'd like to?
You don't know until you try.
Yeah, you don't know until you try. There you go.
You don't know until you try. But once you find it, if it fits you, go for it.
Yeah.
Don't let anything stop you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Do what makes you happy, because you don't want to work somewhere that you're not happy and you live with a check to check and you're miserable all the time. You're not gonna have a good, happy life,
That's right.
So, everything is God's plan, from the day you were born to the day you die. What you do in between is really up to you, by choice.
By choice. That's
by
right.
Choice.
That's why God gave us our own will, right? To make our own choices. Some of us make bad ones, and some of us make good ones, and some of us just skim on through. That's pretty much me. But yeah, guys, like I said, thank you for giving us your time, watching the video. If you like it, I'd really appreciate you to give that thumbs up. If you really enjoyed a little more than liking it, subscribe. It's totally free. But with that being said, guys, don't forget to be kind to one another. Help anybody needs help. Anybody contemplating suicide, 1-800-273-8255. Military men and women, thank you so much for your service. See you guys on the next video. Peace.
Be safe.
And we're out of here.